too many reflections. Yeah. And since you've been gone, I've been trying to fix me. And I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm getting there. Lately I've seen you on television. Yeah, it feels like I'm watching you from a prison. And I want to roll myself in my head.
What up, what up, what up, Eagles Nation's fans, and welcome to the Fan Cave, where it doesn't matter where you live, as long as Eagle Pride and Eagle Green is what you give. I'm your host, OGP, and you know the deal. It's time to get real. Well, you see the ticker, you see the thumbnail, so you know it's time to show one more video. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please, the tickering email is underneath the page. Check us out. Hit us up there at eaglenationfancave@gmail.com. Listen, we lost our first game, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad. I am glad, because what that does, it takes off pressure. It takes off added pressure, you know. I remember when the New England Patriots went undefeated and then lost in the Super Bowl. I mean, does everybody really remember that team? Not particularly. It's not about an undefeated season. I mean, it would have been nice, but it's not something that I want. It's not really what I want. What you play for is a Super Bowl. You don't play for an undefeated season. It doesn't mean anything. Jalen Hurts said it. He went 8-0 before and lost the national championship. It doesn't matter. What's more important is that you really focus on what you can control, and that is playing like consistent professionals and moving toward the goal of winning the Super Bowl. Now, I think it was a humbling defeat. There's no way we were supposed to lose to the Washington team. It's just no way that we were supposed to lose to them. But we lost to them. It was humbling in front of the national audience and in front of every team in the NFL. We needed to be humbled. Why? Well, I mean, anytime you got people going on podcasts talking about that and the other, and you got the local and the national media not focusing on football, but things outside of football that become distractions and cause them to not focus and to remain focused the way that they should. I'm glad it's over. We don't have to worry about trying to get to be undefeated. Now, I'm of this opinion. The NFL doesn't want anyone to break the record of the 72 Miami Dolphins. They don't want it, for a number of reasons, namely Shula, Greasy, and that team, and where it's located, and the primary players. They don't want anyone to break that record or to equal that record. It stands for a lot of things, socially, economically, beyond football. So the bottom line is, I wouldn't be surprised, because some of the calls by the referees were just blatantly missed. Blatant. It was the refereeing was just, and I don't like calling on the referee. It sounds like whining to me. But the truth of the matter is that Goddard penalty cost us tremendously. We were on our way to scoring. Even a field goal would have put us in the lead. But I mean, hey, the bottom line is, I'm of the opinion that the NFL does not want anyone to break the record of, or equal the record of, going undefeated like the 72 Miami Dolphins. I mean, they even honored the 72 Dolphins earlier this season down there in Miami. Come on now. I mean, the bottom line is that's the deal. They did not, and they do not want anyone to break that record. But I mean, now we can stop the dumb questions. I mean, I don't know about you, But I'm tired of media's dumb questions. What was it like to be on to Jalen? What was it like to be on Kelsey's podcast? What does that have to do with the game that we're getting ready to play? What does that have to do with football? Nothing. Absolutely nothing about the game. And they continue to pummel them with questions that had nothing to do with football and took their focus. We gave them the focus. All we had to do is not answer questions about podcasts, right? But the bottom line is, hey, they want to focus in. They want to focus in on podcasts and comparing, quarterbacks with other quarterbacks and other teams with other teams. And the bottom line is, but that's their job. That's the media's job. But the football team's job is not to play into all that crap. And we did. And I could see it coming. I can see it coming. And we're not done. We're not done. We're going to lose some more. We're going to lose some more. At least two more. At least two more. And that's fine, because I that's what I call it. I called for us to lose 3 or 4 games. Okay, let's talk about this debacle. First of all, Jonathan Gannon, he is not the kind of defensive coordinator for Philly. He's just not that type of defensive coordinator. I mean, his stoic, unemotional, detached demeanor is insulting. It's not what we do in Philly. He doesn't represent us. He doesn't even look like. He looks like some choir boy from some town in out west somewhere. I mean, he doesn't look like an East Coast dude that has that nasty, attitude that East Coast. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have that mean streak. He has that everybody gets a trophy mentality. That's the kind of dude he's grown up to be. That's the mentality. That's how he coordinates. He doesn't have a nasty streak. You need a nasty streak to be a defensive coordinator. He's a pussy. Really. I mean, and that's the bottom line. He coordinates with no intestinal fortitude whatsoever. He doesn't seem to have any desire to put his foot on the neck of his opponent. None. We're going to just let them get up, and we're going to let them get their catches in front of the markers, and we'll catch them and tackle them before the markers, and they won't get a first down. Well, that's not what happened last night. That's not what happened. They ran the ball down our throats, and there was nothing to do to stop it. Now, everybody says, well, Jordan Davis. No, it's not just Jordan Davis. The defensive line is not playing well. And that's how they're going to come after us. Every team from now on is coming after the defensive line, because it's poor defensive line play. Poor defensive line play isn't around it. Our defensive line looks terrible. Now, the next thing is, poor third down stoppage. We can't stop water. We can't stop water because they have third down and short. 4 yards and less on third down is manageable. And that's because they're getting 5 yards a pop on first down. 4 and 5 yards a pop on first down. The run defense is terrible, terrible, terrible. The next thing is no game time or in-game adjustments. Nothing. He doesn't do anything. He plays the same thing. Gannon plays the same thing throughout the whole process. While the other team's making adjustments to what you're playing, there's no adjustments to their adjustments. He just continues to play the same thing. He does nothing. Nothing. I want to see him gone so bad. I hope he gets a head coaching job somewhere. It's just that he does not play Eagle football. I don't know where this guy came from or how he got this guy. But the bottom line is, I don't see anything worth him being a defensive coordinator. Nothing. Nothing. Anyway, the other things that really about poor tackling between the tackles. I mean, their running backs were carrying our dudes. Our players were getting drugged 3 and 4 yards. Robinson was dragging him. This dude's a gunshot wound. Just recently survived gunshot wounds here in D.C. Shot twice, and he's dragging players. He's dragging them. He's dragging safeties. Where are the linebackers? Where are they at? It's ridiculous. Our linebacker play was atrocious. Simply atrocious. I looked at the stats, and they, T.J. Edwards had so many tackles, but Lord have mercy, I just don't see it. I just don't see where the linebacker play, him or White, that really and Hassan Reddick, where was he? Where was the linebackers? Where? I did not see linebacker tackling for a loss. I didn't see any clogging up, nothing. I saw tackles by safeties. No, they didn't maintain any defensive line integrity. They didn't stay in their lanes. Because there were gaping holes. The blocking on our defensive line last night by Washington was admirable. I mean, you got to give them credit. But the bottom line is, the reason is because we weren't doing what we were supposed to do. Control what you can control. And line integrity is something that you can control. Our defensive backs, defensive backs played poorly. And that's because of the game plan. The shell defense, allowing people to have a wide open middle, and it just, you're going to get crossing patterns all day long, like last night. All day long, you're going to get, all they have to do is throw over the linebackers, and after that, there's gaping holes between the secondary and the linebackers, and that's what they did. I mean, the quarterback, Heineke, is not the kind of quarterback that's going to hurt you unless you give him open space, and that's what we did all night long. It's pathetic. We did miss Jordan Davis. I believe, even though we miss him and Maddox, I don't think it would have made a whole lot of difference because the way that the line play has been for the last 2 games, and it's going to continue because this is the formula that our defensive line has set and our defensive coordinator has set for our team. It's pathetic. And then you have to look at, I mean, where was the running game? I mean, okay, they did 16 play drives, and when we get our offense on the field, we're throwing the ball, we get 3 and out, and our defense is back out there again. We didn't even give them a chance to rest because the play calling was poor. 10 days off, and this is the game plan they came up with. 10 days. And there was no running game plan at all to give the defense a chance to rest. It looked like Chip Kelly. It resembled Chip Kelly not giving the defense a chance to rest. Throw the ball out. Throw the ball out. 16 play drive, 10 play drive, 13 play drive, 14 play. It is ridiculous. And I don't get it. Where these dudes don't get a clue that this kind of game plan, this whole of all we're going to do is throw the ball, is not what's going to win football games. Where is this Generation X, this millennial coaching mentality come from? These coaches, these young dudes that have this mentality that everybody gets a trophy. You don't know what it's like that stick your knee on somebody's throat and not let them have a chance. We don't do it. They don't know how. It's not, I mean, it's ridiculous. You don't run the ball until the third quarter. You don't run the ball until the third quarter. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm glad they lost. I'm glad they lost. I am. And if we don't make some changes, we're gonna lose at least 2 to 3 more. If we don't make the changes, we'll lose 2 to 3 more. We'll go limping into the playoffs. We'll go limping into the play. Mark it down. If there's no changes, we'll go limping into the playoffs, and we'll play the first round, and we'll be like Dallas was last year. All these wins and out in the first round because of this coaching. The coaching, the offensive and defensive coordinators sucked last night, and it's not the first time. Last game too. Yep, against the Texans too. Yep, and so we've got to definitely make some changes. I don't mind losing, but when you don't prepare and you don't give put together an appropriate game plan, man, there's guys coaching high school could have done better than that. For real. High school coaches, I think Jalen's father could have done better. I think Jalen Hurts' father could have done better. I really do. It was pathetic for having 10 days off. Now we got to turn around and we got to go out to Indianapolis. And guess what? They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. We got another Heineke type quarterback that we're going to be facing. And Gannon's going to make him look like he's, I don't know, Tom Brady. Anyway, I'm upset. I don't mind losing, but it's the way you lose. If you're going to lose like the Bills lost. Lose like that. Lose going down fighting and not doing dumb stuff. Dumb penalties at crucial times. Drops at crucial times. And then, Quez don't get a lot of play. You can't drop passes. That's why you don't get your number called, because you drop the ball. You got to make plays in order for them to trust you to call your number again. You can't drop passes. You can't drop them and think they're going to come back. So you may not see the ball again for another 3-4 games. In the rounds, you may drop that one too. I don't know. You're starting to look like Rager out there. Anyway. I'm done. We'll see you next time. Goodness gracious.